Okay, the question for tonight is, can students learn the skills and the concepts without having fully acquired their second language? The answer is yes. I believe that students can learn skills and concepts without having fully learned, developed their second language, with a lot of teacher support. A lot of times teachers introduce phonics. They teach a student how to read the word, but they fail to teach the student the meaning of the word. So now I can read it, but what does the word mean? This is where the teacher needs to bring in a lot of the visuals, a lot of the picture, a lot of the videos, a lot of the explanation, the synonyms, the antonyms if we have to, the homophones. I believe that in learning the skills and concepts, we do need to teach them the vocabulary in English. Yes, we can use their native language as a support, but we need to make sure that we do have a lot of strategies in place, a lot of techniques in place. And I like Robin Scarcella's model, where she talks about the 5 components, the phonetical component, which I believe is very important, which is what the teachers are doing, but they need to take it a step further, where they touch up with the lexicon component. Yes, they do touch up on the lexicon component, but we teach them the word, but what is the meaning? Unlike math 3 means 3 no matter where you put it, maybe 3,000, but it's still a 3. Unlike in English, in writing and reading, depending on how the word is used, would determine the meaning of the word. So we do teach them how to read a word, but we need to teach them how to accurately, correctly understand and figure out the meaning of a word based on how it's used. A lot of times, I remember we would encourage students to use a dictionary to learn a new word. It's not about learning a new word. It's about actually learning a new word and knowing how to use it correctly. And that is another section, another component from Robin Scarcella, where students need to be able to use the word accurately, correctly, with the syntax in place. A lot of times in classrooms, teachers teach a new vocabulary, but they never give the students the opportunity to practice it, to own it, to use it correctly. And I believe that, if we allow students to do that, maybe if somebody had actually, given the opportunity to practice, we cannot have our students just be passive learners. Our students need to be active learners, where they are able to interact with all 5 components of Scarcella's. When we're looking at the discourse component, I know in our district we have our Kagan structures or cooperative learning structures. I believe those structures are perfect because sometimes, you can do a structure for fun, and you can do structures for academically, or academic, really connected to the content. I think, in giving students the opportunity to practice verbally and socially, and using words and creating sentences and providing them the support such as sentence frames, is going to help students learn how to use English correctly. So not only are we teaching them how to read correctly, but also the meaning of the word with visuals and gestures and total physical response movements. I believe that with all this in place, we can actually help our students learn the skills and concepts at the same time as learning our English language, period. It is going to take a lot of planning, a lot of brainstorming from the teacher in order to be able to do this, but in using, making sure that we do touch up on Scarcella's components is going to help our students learn our second English language. So yes, a student can learn the skills and concepts along with learning a second language.